There are ghosts that haunt the edges of old nautical charts, phantoms drawn in faded ink. They are islands, given names, coastlines, and even mountains by hopeful cartographers, only to vanish from the maps of the next century. They are dismissed as mistakes, mirages, or myths. But the sailors who traverse the loneliest stretches of the ocean know better. They whisper stories of a place that is not a mistake, but a choice. An island that decides when and to whom it will reveal itself. They call it a cartographic ghost, a land that has mastered the art of being unseen. This is the story of that island, a place that exists in the space between legend and longing, a metaphor for the ultimate isolation. Legends of its kind are woven into the very fabric of human curiosity. We have always been haunted by the idea of a lost paradise, a perfect civilization swallowed by the sea. We call it Atlantis, a name that has become a symbol for all that is brilliant and irrevocably gone. We dream of Hy-Brasil, the phantom isle off the coast of Ireland, cloaked in mist, appearing only once every 7 years. We search for Thule, the northernmost land of ancient Greek lore, a place on the very border of our world. These are not just stories of lost lands. They are expressions of a profound human yearning for a sanctuary, for a place untouched by the relentless march of time and the noise of our own making. These myths are the collective memory of a place that does not want to be found, a place that chooses its visitors with deliberate care. This island, which the few who claim to have seen it call Hy-Brasil, the Silent Isle, does not exist in a fixed location. It is said to drift, not on the ocean currents, but on the tides of human sorrow and hope. It appears to those who are not seeking to conquer or claim, but to disappear. It is a refuge for the soul that has grown weary of the world. Its shores are not found by compass or by star, but by an internal navigation, a quiet surrender. The sea around it is unnaturally calm, the water clear as glass but dark, hinting at impossible depths. The air grows still and heavy, and a strange, luminous mist, smelling of salt and unknown blossoms, rolls in to embrace the ship. To pass through this mist is to pass through a veil between worlds. To set foot on Hy-Brasil is to step into a waking dream. The colors are at once vivid and soft, as if seen through a filter of memory. The flora is alien, yet familiar. Great weeping trees with silver bark from which hang fruits that glow with a gentle internal light. The ground is covered not in grass, but in a thick carpet of moss that seems to absorb all sound, creating a profound, resonant silence. There are ruins here, but they are not the ruins of tragedy. They are elegant, impossible structures of smooth white stone that curve and spiral as if grown, not built. There is no sign of who constructed them or why they were abandoned. There is only a sense of immense, peaceful age. Time does not pass here in the same way. The light is always that of a soft, overcast afternoon, gentle and melancholic. Days do not end. They simply deepen in their stillness. This is the nature of its isolation. In our world, isolation is often a punishment, a state of loneliness to be feared. It is the feeling of being cut off, abandoned, forgotten. But on Hy-Brasil, isolation is a form of protection. It is a sanctuary. It is a deliberate, chosen solitude. The island has walled itself off not with rock, but with legend and disbelief, creating a space where a different way of being can be preserved. It is a haven from the frantic pace of our existence, a place to heal from the wounds inflicted by a world that never stops talking, never stops demanding, never stops moving. The silence here is not an absence of sound, but a presence of peace. The solitude is not an absence of others, but a presence of the self. I came to find it not as an adventurer, but as a cartographer obsessed with the ghosts on my maps. I had spent a lifetime tracing the coastlines of islands that no longer existed, believing them not to be errors, but secrets. I followed the whispers, the forgotten logbooks, the subtle anomalies in the ocean currents. I did not seek proof for the world. I sought understanding for myself. And after years of searching, when I had finally given up all hope, when my own soul felt as lost as the lands I was chasing, its mist found me. My first days on the island were spent in a state of frantic documentation. I tried to map its shores, to categorize its glowing flora, to sketch its impossible ruins. I was still a man of my world, a man who believed that to understand something was to measure it, to name it, to pin it to a chart. But the island resisted. My compass would spin uselessly. My sketches of the ruins seemed to change when I wasn't looking. The coastline itself seemed to subtly shift and reshape overnight. The island refused to be quantified. It was teaching me its first and most important lesson, that not everything is meant to be captured. Some things are only meant to be experienced. Slowly, I surrendered. I put away my instruments and my journals. I began to simply walk, to sit, to listen to the profound silence. I ate the glowing fruit, which tasted of forgotten memories and a deep, abiding peace. I walked among the silent, spiraling towers and felt not the ghosts of their builders, but the enduring spirit of their intention, to create a space for quiet contemplation. My own internal noise, the frantic cartographer's need to chart and define, began to quiet down. The isolation, which at first had felt unnerving, began to feel like a warm embrace. I was not lonely. For the first time in my life, I was truly, completely with myself. My great discovery came not in a ruin or on a shoreline, but in the island's heart. A vast, open glade where the silver-barked trees grew in a perfect circle. In the center was not a structure, but a pool of water, perfectly still, perfectly clear. It did not reflect the sky above. Instead, when I looked into it, I saw visions. Not of the future or the past, but of the frantic, noisy world I had left behind. I saw cities buzzing with a desperate energy, people rushing past one another, their faces etched with anxiety and longing. I saw the world's relentless hunger for more, for faster, for louder, and I understood. Innis Vale was not hiding from the world. It was healing from it. It was a living antibody to the sickness of a world that has forgotten the value of stillness. To put this island on a map would be an act of violence. It would be to give a secret sanctuary to those who would only seek to exploit it, to pave its mossy grounds and sell its glowing fruit. The choice, then, became my own: to stay and embrace this perfect, timeless isolation forever, or to return and carry the lesson of the island within me. The desire to stay was overwhelming, but the island's final lesson was the most difficult. True sanctuary is not a place you escape to forever. It is a state of being that you learn to carry within yourself. The island had healed me, it had quieted my soul, and now it was time to see if that quiet could survive the noise of the world. Leaving Innis Vale was a quiet act of faith. I sailed back through the luminous mist, and when I emerged on the other side, the island was gone. My instruments began to work again. The sea regained its familiar, restless energy. But I was not the same man. I returned to my maps, and with a quiet reverence, I erased the last of my frantic notations. I left the space on the chart beautifully, perfectly blank. For I understood that the island's true location is not on any ocean. It is within us. We all have the capacity to create our own Innis Vale, a quiet, protected space in our own minds and hearts, a place where we can retreat from the world not to hide, but to heal. It is the island we find when we have the courage to occasionally disappear from the map of our own busy lives and to simply, silently, be.